My amplified unit. That was a rough Smackdown. That was a tough one to get through. Smackdown is one of those shows where BC usually speaks a little bit more positively, right? A lot more good than the red brand usually. This week, I think the blue brand took a few steps back, and I think it's pretty obvious this draft, shakeup, continuation of the brand split. I don't think it did jack shit for SmackDown. Oh, but we're going to talk about it. Shotzi Blackheart. Can't believe they actually did what they did with Shotzi Blackheart that quickly. Can't believe they fucked up Shotzi that quickly, but I probably should believe that, right? It's what they do. But we need to talk about it. Talking about botching somebody. My girl Naomi. What a rough 60 seconds on that show last night. The segment, first of all, planning it, the writing of it, the booking of the segment. Absolute garbage. But then my girl Naomi. That was a rough botch she had in the ring, man. We gotta go over it as much as I love her. Because that was a trickle-down effect with what happened at the end of that match as well. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. We also gotta talk about the main event. This was post-draft. We literally just had the draft. The shakeup is upon us. All these fresh matches, right? No more rematches. Fresh. This is what we were told. Things got shooken up. It's the draft. And the main event already. Usos New Day for the 947th time. We gotta talk about it. And of course, the trick or street fight wouldn't be Halloween without some more Halloween trick or street fights. I can't stand holiday-themed wrestling shows. If it wasn't a circus already, over the past several years in pro wrestling, these holiday-themed shows really make you want to put your Domepiece through a cement wall, a brick wall. It really makes you want to make sure nobody's around you when you're watching because you don't want to explain what the fuck you're watching. It's embarrassing. But I know. People like BC, we need to relax more and have more fun with the product, right? This is what you see in the community, right? Everybody's just fine and dandy with what they're watching, right? Because it's fun to them. They giggle and they laugh. And we take wrestling too seriously, they say. So we need to relax more and we need to have more fun. We need to accept this more, they say. As if we don't see it every fucking show. Don't act like you ain't gonna see the same fucking shit come Thanksgiving like we see every year. You'll see AJ Styles going through a fucking table with mashed potatoes and stuffing, turkey legs, and some cranberry sauce. And come Christmas, you're gonna see Randy Orton and Matt Riddle beating people over the Domepiece with Christmas trees and Christmas presents. Come Valentine's Day, you'll see Big Omos with a big giant red heart costume on, right? Vince McMahon will make him Sexual Chocolate 2.0. We know this because it's the same redundant shtick every fucking year, just like Halloween trick or street fight. They do this every fucking year. There's no creativity. It's literally the same setup even. Skeletons in the corner, pumpkins all around. You're bobbing for apples on the outside. And you always got that one sorry son of a bitch that has to put the fucking pumpkin on his head. And last night, that was Shinsuke Nakamura. That's right, one of the most decorated son of a bitches in professional wrestling history. Shinsuke Nakamura running around the ring with a giant pumpkin on his head. But that's fun to you, isn't it? And in case you guys missed the show, here's a little bit of visual evidence for you. One of the best wrestlers in the world today still. You wouldn't know it the way Vince books him, but he is. Shinsuke Nakamura running around with a giant pumpkin on his fucking head. And this kind of shit happens all the time. You guys remember 6'8", 295-pound Doc Gallows trying to rip a huge pumpkin off of his head during his match, his Trick or Street fight? Or how about The Miz when Dolph plopped this giant pumpkin on his head and Miz had to finish the match with that pumpkin? You ever wonder why Miz never truly got over it? Stupid, silly shit like this. Done time after time. What about Cesaro? Also one of the best wrestlers in the world for years. You wouldn't know it the way Vince books him. Here's Cesaro with Vince telling the ref to tell Cesaro to keep it on post-match. Because damn it, it looks funny, it look goofy. Yeah, brilliant booking to book Cesaro and Shinsuke and so many others like this. This is definitely real fun, guys. Oh yeah, what a pumpkin barrel of laughs, isn't it? Watching professional wrestlers run around with a pumpkin on their head. I can't believe that BC's position on fun, my sense of humor, differs so much from others in the community. I just gotta have more fun, right? More pumpkins on people's heads. It only happens during the holidays, Baszler. Right, because we didn't just watch bunny rabbits running around the ring several weeks this year. Because we didn't see enough water gun fights this year, or yoga sessions, or dancing with Dewdrop time. Or Reggie flipping around dog parks while people dressed as trash cans in trees chase him. Do I really need to keep going with the fun that we have every week, every show? You know I'm right. You may not like it, but you know I'm damn fucking right. If wrestling was at its best right now, right? If things were going good and viewers were flocking to the shows, man, of course, comedy has always been a part of pro wrestling. But bro, and that's the main focus, because I assure you that has been the main focus for years now. And when that is the main focus, you don't have to question why fans are not flocking to the product, but flying away from it in droves. The statistics, the numbers tell us that. That's factual information. So you don't gotta ask yourself why that is. Just look at the fucking product. Oh, we're gonna talk about that Trick or Street fight of 2021. Probably shouldn't. If you seen one, you seen them all. And while the whole time, Cole and McAfee was the best part of the fucking, the highlight because of how funny he was. But the sad part is they just laughed at all four of those dudes while they put on that match. And how could you not? And how can you blame them? The commentating team just laughed the entire time. A wrestler like Shinsuke Nakamura was nothing but the butt of the joke. He was the fucking joke as he performed a wrestling match where everybody was fucking laughing because it was fun. I guess I just have too much respect for these individuals. I said it in yesterday's bonus video that I put out to you guys, and I will reiterate the same statement with even more strength behind those words. I can't stand holiday-themed professional wrestling shows. Until you can get serious feuds on your television program that captivate your audience, Comedy should be secondary. But we'll talk about it. I want to thank all my AMP unit for tuning in to that bonus video yesterday, man. Good little turnout for that, man. Just a bunch of topics that I put into 1 hour and a half nearly video. It seems like you guys really enjoyed it, so I appreciate that, man. Everybody that stopped by, showed the love, smash that up, and just showing BC and the channel that respect, man. I want you to know it's right back to you guys, man. As I always tell you on the live streams, I'll tell you the same thing right now. I wanted to do this live, but just like yesterday, it's pretty fucking early, man. Really early in the morning, so I don't know how many people would be going live with BC at that point. So this is the way we're gonna rock it out. So let's waste no more time, man. Let's get right into it, man. Cold open is over, and we're gonna discuss more about that trick or street fight. Trust me. But I want to get into Shotzi's fucking botched night booking wise, because that's what it was. Charlie Flair starts the show, and she degrades the entire women's locker room, saying, and I quote, "When any of them win a title, there's tears, emotion, parades, but when she wins a title, it's just another Friday." In other words, it's a big deal when somebody wins a title in that company, but when Charlotte does it, it's just natural. But I gotta be honest, I don't know if that's a good thing. That means you're losing the title at an alarming rate. But this brings out Sasha Banks. Sasha comes to the ring and Sasha says, "You ain't here to help the division, you're only here to hold it down." Now, I know this was obviously scripted out. This was one of the first things Sasha said to Charlotte, and usually those are your bullet points. So I understand that's totally scripted, but so much truth in that son of a bitch, and you gotta believe that's why it was scripted. Sasha then says, "Where's her title match?" Like Charlie's just going to give it to her, even though that is how things are done in WWE these days. Ask and you shall receive a title match. Case in point, Shotzi Blackheart rides to the ring in her mini tank, and Shotzi tells Charlie that she wants to rock out. So Charlie accepts Shotzi's challenge, and we have a number one contenders match. I can't stand those, because even if you... There's no winning here. Number one contenders match. A superstar is going to lose to the champion regardless. Okay, the champion wins. That's what should be happening. But you just you flatten somebody for no reason. On the flip side, if the person beats the champion, then all that does is, A, you just beat your fucking champion. That doesn't make them look like a champion. And number two, we're just going to get the same fucking match again now. We're seeing the same fucking match. I hate number one contenders matches. What happened to the old school way, where a challenger has to work their way up the fucking roster and earn their shot at the champion? And in doing such, you're having a storyline built in the process. What happened to that? They don't even care anymore, man. They don't even take the time or the energy or the effort to build a storyline anymore. You just got to beat the champion, and that's your next pay-per-view title match. BC, you're too old school, man. You got to think new school. No, I don't want to, because that's what's killing the product. Pro wrestling at its very core and foundation is very simplistic, actually. There's a complexity to pro wrestling unlike any other, but at its core, it's very simplistic. So we get a number one contenders match. I just don't see how anybody wins out of this. Charlie Flair versus Shotzi. Sasha remains at ringside. Match time clocked in just over 10 minutes. At least that's good, man. You guys know how I feel. I know that Shotzi can rock it out in the ring. We know that Charlie Flair can wrestle. Even if we don't like her booking, which most of us don't, we know that she can rock in the ring, man. There's areas I wish she would improve on, like selling, and just stop thinking that you always have to be on offense. Always be mindful of your fellow superstar, man. Sell for them. That's the only way the match is going to work. Other than that, Charlie can rock out. So if you have somebody like Shotzi, you have somebody like Charlie, let's let them go 10 fucking minutes, man. It's not a hard concept to grasp. And last night, they actually gave them just over 10 minutes, so at least we got that, man. The match was actually fucking decent. I have no bones. Literally, my notes don't have anything bad, so that means I didn't witness anything necessarily bad. Were they out of step at times? No question. But bad, far from it. So a decent match. Shotzi not only hung with Charlie, but several times we thought she was going to take the fucking W, man. You actually thought, oh, they are going to have Shotzi take this. And Shotzi is so new now, especially with this shake-up draft. She's on the blue brand, definitely. She's without Tegan. I mean, how can she lose? But again, the flip side is you can't have your champion. That's what I mean, man. I hate matches like this where they book it with no regard for the future. You book a match where nobody can lose. I can't stand it. But Shotzi looked good up in this bitch. Charlie ultimately wins with the natural selection. Again, I don't know. It's pick your poison. I don't know which is better, or should I say which is worse. You certainly can't have your champion losing either. I don't know, man. I could not stand this. Charlie wins with the natural selection. And let's be honest. Even if Shotzi won this match, would she have actually gotten her title match in the future? Because most of us that don't forget shit by the week like Vince wants us to, those with common sense, logic, a brain in our Domepiece, and we remember shit. We remember that Shotzi and Tegan were the number one contenders for the tag titles, right? They earned that, and they never even fucking got it. Or at least several teams bypassed them way before them. Not even sure if they ever got it, actually, but I know for a fact several teams bypassed the number one contenders. So would Shotzi have even gotten that, man? WWE either doesn't give a fuck about what they're doing, or they literally forget about their own shit. So who knows if she would have even gotten that. Post-match, Shotzi turns on Sasha, who she blamed for her loss. This was odd. Fans were really behind Shotzi, so this turn is beyond questionable. She drives around in a mini tank. How are people gonna boo that? I mean, that's especially like your kids and shit. They're gonna be like, it's a mini tank. You can sell those little things like you ever see Power Wheels. You can sell little Shotzi tanks. But it's gonna be hard for. Did you hear the chants last night, man? People were fully behind Shotzi because I don't know how you're gonna be able to. And they just turned her like that so suddenly. Her first real fucking big match on the main roster, one-on-one with your fucking champion Charlie Flair. Yeah, that's probably her biggest main roster match to date, one-on-one. And they just turned her, man. And Sasha was already kind of a in-betweener anyway, right? I still don't think of Sasha as a bona fide face. I mean, her character just screams heel. But many people like BC just love Sasha so much that we're just not going to fucking trash her. So she's just kind of in that middle ground anyway. And then you have Shotzi take her out. I don't understand. I don't understand what their goal is here. Is this just a hot shot, a Sasha Banks versus Shotzi Blackheart matchup? So you turn her heel just to have that match? Because I can't put any stock in Vince McMahon that he has a long-term plan for Shotzi. Man, people really love that girl. I don't understand this decision. I'm going to sit back and relax and watch the product, BC. Let it play out, right? That's what I'm told. So I'm going to let it play out. But you heard it here first, man. I highly question this decision. I honestly feel this was a mistake. I hope I'm wrong. But usually when I feel this strongly about something with Vince and WWE, usually I am right on the fucking money. But I don't understand this. I don't see how this helps Shotzi at all. We'll see. Trust me, I don't mind a Sasha Banks versus Shotzi Blackheart matchup. I just wish we went about it the right way, man. This is just so fucking odd to me. Suppose I could sit here another hour trying to make sense of that decision, but I think it's best for all of us with the weekend upon us to just move on. We had a pretty good backstage segment that followed with Adam Pearce sending a message from WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, stating that he's not only suspending Brock Lesnar for his actions last week, F5ing him a couple of times, but also he's fining Brock Lesnar $1 million. So Brock is going to be a little bit lighter in the wallet storyline-wise. Kayla Braxton backstage catches up with Paul Heyman and asks him how he thinks Brock would respond to that fine. And she's just wanting an answer, and it's almost like she's goading Paul to get back into the mind of Brock Lesnar, and that's exactly what she goats him into. Paul Heyman just starts flipping out as if he's still the advocate for Brock Lesnar. I think that was actually brilliant, man. Because it continues that rift. Like there is a possibility of him connecting with Brock in the future, and I think that has to happen. However long this Brock Lesnar face situation occurs for, I think when it's all said and done, you have to have the Paul Heyman reunion. So I love the fact that Paul is not yet totally out of that character. He still thinks of Brock as the guy, and that's a problem because Roman is his guy. And by the way, Roman was not on the show last night. He did have a dark match post Smackdown. They were in, where are they? In the Mohegan Sun in Pennsylvania. And Roman had a dark match with the Usos, and they took on the Street Profits and Drew McIntyre. But as far as SmackDown goes, Roman was off the show, and he trended the entire night, guys. The entire night, even when SmackDown was off the air. Roman Reigns was a hot topic. People were pissed off because he wasn't on the show. People were wondering where he was. And that shows you what a draw this guy is. When you can trend and you can be the number one topic and you don't even got to do anything. You're not even on the show. That shows you, man, the power that this dude has. And people actually do want to see this guy. And it shows you how the show can totally move one way or the other without that piece of the puzzle. So without Roman Reigns last night, man, WWE fans were taking the social and hitting up the interweb machine, and that dude was trending the entire night, even when SmackDown went off the air. So I think it was brilliant to keep him off, man. I just said this about CM Punk, how I think it's just oversaturation, man. Even when he's not wrestling, he's on commentary, and it's not moving the fucking needle because it's just making him look like an average dude. You know, your superstars, your big timers, man, keep them off every now and again. If you're doing your program correctly, you should be allowed to do such because WWE programming is such shit over the years. You know, even at Roman taking some time off of SmackDown, which is the better fucking brand. Taking Roman off that show, man, it created such a stir. But if you were doing business correctly, if you made other stars, if you had captivating television storylines, feuds, and moments occurring, you know, maybe somebody who wasn't on the show wouldn't be the number one hot topic. Food for thought. What do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. That damn podcaster, he thinks he knows it all. Anyway. Paul Heyman, man. Paul Heyman was excellent last night. He just can't stop being the advocate for Brock. So we'll see, man. Obviously, this is to get Brock a bunch of time off, man. I don't think he's coming back to Royal Rumble. I doubt it would be Survivor Series, possible, but I mean, that's a few weeks, man. Wow, time is flying. Yeah, he ain't coming. Royal Rumble. That's the earliest, man. Drew McIntyre is out next, man. Drew holds an open challenge. I can't stand these if there's not like a U.S. open challenge, like a title on the line. What are we doing here? But Drew holds an open challenge. Mustafa Ali accepts the challenge, and 120 seconds later, Ali is tapping out frantically. Post-match, Ali grabs the mic and says, "The only reason you fans boo me is because my name is Mustafa Ali." Come on, bro. Are we really doing this? This is so juvenile and it screams Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now we're gonna do the whole Mustafa Ali, his origin storyline, and how people are against that. Him, his people. I hate this, man. I can't stand it because it is bottom of the barrel creativity. It is non-creativity. And this is what I mean about no effort. This is no effort. Somebody like Mustafa Ali, who it's bullshit to even say the fans don't like him because of any reason, because the fans adored this guy. The fans have been behind this guy for fucking years. The only guy who hasn't been is Vincent Kennedy. So from the jump, it's bullshit to even have the notion that fans were against him. And then to make up this reason because it's Mustafa Ali. You know, I thought we were above this by now, man. But in 2021, we're doing the same fucking storylines. I don't like you because of who you are. Because of what you are. And I don't know, man, the worst part in this is not what we like or don't, right? I mean, there could be somebody out there going, I don't mind this. It's not even the point. It doesn't matter about if we like it or we don't. The point is, this helps Mustafa Ali not one fucking iota. This will help him not at all. Do you honestly, and we know this because we've seen this same fucking storyline so many times. This laziness, this repetitiveness. Because of who and what I am, I'm not liked. And what does it usually do? Nothing for the person playing the victim. Absolutely can't stand it, man. On to hour number 2. King Woods starts hour number 2 with the knighting of Kofi Kingston. The Hand of the King is what he is now calling him. Basically, you gotta have more fun. I actually thought this was somewhat fun, man. They made it fun. That could have fallen straight on its fucking crown. But they did make it a little bit of fun, I guess. Until my boys, one of my favorite tag teams in the world with the Briscoes, is the Uso brothers. So for me to be critical of this segment, that tells you something, because I love the Usos. But the Usos hit the ring, and we get before I get into what perturbed me, we get a good and fun, there you go, PC had some fun with this, a fun exchange between the four. Unfortunately, that's where the fun ended. Because then we go and we set up a match for later in the night between these four motherfuckers. The Usos versus the New Day. There's just one problem, of course. We have seen this match 947 times in the past, bro. 947 times. And if I am exaggerating, it's only slightly. But this was the shakeup, man. This was the draft. We were told all new matches, new superstars, man. It's gonna feel new. The new era is what they're even coining. And it's just hilarious in a bad way. Not too funny. How we're already doing the Usos in the New Day, and they've only been on the same roster now for a week. Back on the same roster. But I'm a mean YouTuber. I'm an asshole podcaster. I'm ruining wrestling. Or am I just trying to fucking make it better with some common sense and logic? Speaking of rematches for the gazillionth time, next was a Halloween trick or street fight match between Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Baron Corbin and Madcap. We've seen Shinsuke versus Corbin 94 times this year alone. Again, if I'm exaggerating, it's only slightly. 94 fucking times Shinsuke versus Baron Corbin. And here we are at the end of 2021, and we're still seeing it. What a fucking shakeup. What a draft. And this one, of course, a Halloween-themed trick or street fight, man. This was every bit of the circus we knew it would be. You had pumpkins flying all around the ring, apples being tossed around, people bobbing for apples. The catering crusaders stormed the ring, Gulak and Reggie, clearly pissed off. Catering must have ran out of their favorite triple-layered moose cake. So for no fucking reason, the catering crusaders just stormed the fucking ring. Candy corn-colored kendo sticks. Skeletons being used as weapons. Shinsuke has a giant fucking pumpkin on his head and he's running around, getting clotheslined with a pumpkin on his head. It was fun. That's what I'm told. I'm told this was fun. This is what fun is in pro wrestling. Just like Hangman Page, dressed up as the fucking giant marshmallow man, attacking Ghostbusters on AEW Dynamite. Your number one contender for a heavyweight championship, dressed up as a giant marshmallow man. In the last 3 minutes of Dynamite, he can't even get out of his suit. It's wrapped around his fucking feet, and he's waddling around with a beer. Yeah, try to get that image out of your fucking Domepiece. That's good, obviously. NXT Takeover. No. Halloween Havoc on Tuesday night. Halloween Havoc. The whole fucking show was just a circus. I've had enough fun. If this is fun, I've had enough fun for the fucking week. And people wonder why pro wrestling is in the fucking shitter, because people actually try to defend this and they go, it's fun. You need to have fun every now and again. Everything can't be serious. Everything can't be so serious. Are you a fucking idiot? Every fucking show, we have this fun. We have rabbits running around the ring and people doing flips around a dog park while people with fucking trash cans and trees chase them, dressed as trash cans and trees. That actually happened. We have fucking yoga sessions in the back. We have water gun fights. We got fucking dancing with the dewdrop, pancake slinging and jiving with the New Day. We got it all. How much fun can you really have in a show? It's so much fun. Can't you tell by the ratings? Can't you tell by everybody tuning in and flocking to the product how much fun we're having? Or maybe this type of fucking shit is driving people away. Maybe it's not as fun as you think it is. Because if it was fun, we'd all be having it. And people flock to fun. People want to be a part of fun. Numbers aren't showing the fun that's being had. You know what? McAfee was the gem in all this, man. At least this guy tried to make it as fun as possible. This is horrific with an H. Because get it? Horrific. If it's not with it, horrific. Yeah. Pat McAfee is that type of guy. He'll crack those jokes with no fucking second thought about it. You don't care. Pat McAfee tried to save this segment so many times. The sad part is that he and Michael Cole just laughed at these four dudes the entire fucking time. I can't blame them. What else could you do? And somebody as decorated as Shinsuke Nakamura had a match where he was just a joke. I mean, how does that sit well with people? And just go, oh, it's okay. It's not okay, man. Shinsuke deserves better than that, man. And AJ Styles, as I said earlier, man, AJ Styles will be going through a turkey Thanksgiving Day table this upcoming holiday for Thanksgiving. There'll be a huge table with stuffing and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce and corn on the cob and all your favorites, man. The triple layered moose cake will be there for the Catering Crusaders, and AJ Styles, one of the best wrestlers in the world. He'll be going right through that son of a bitch. We'll have the Christmas street fight in December. We'll have the Valentine's Day Massacre street fight and fucking February, and this is what we do, man. And the shows will be themed around it. I mean, can we just get creative, man? You want to use the holiday in the show. Can we do it in a way where it's fresh, it's different? I showed you images earlier, man. Every year there's a same fucking type of match, same props used, same everything. Same sequences, same situations in the match. Everybody puts a fucking pumpkin on their head. Every year it's a new person. Who puts the pumpkin this year? Like, can we use this shit differently, man? Nobody wants to get creative in this company. And they just got laughed at, man. Watch the match. Michael Cole just laughs at this shit. Why not? He's not the blunt of the joke. I say blunt of the joke. Bunt of the joke. Blunt, you might as well fucking... You probably need one to fucking get through that match. Garza and Humberto come out in costumes, of course. It's Halloween. Yeah, fun. Everyone get the costume. So they come out in fucking like Grim Reapers or so. I don't even know what they were. Fucking pumpkin patch men? Pumpkin patch Reapers? I don't even know, man. Garza, Humberto cost Shinsuke and Boogs the match. So not only does Shinsuke have to wear this giant fucking pumpkin and be laughed at for 10 fucking minutes, but he also has to take the L. And that's that. Look, between NXT, AEW, and last night for SmackDown, I'm done having this fun that you all want to have. I'm personally done with it. We need to have more fun, they say. No, you can do that somewhere else, man. I'm trying to make this shit better. I'm trying to attract an audience to WWE, to these professional wrestling companies, to AEW. It ain't gonna happen with this type of fun. We then had a really rough, really bad 60-second match. Naomi versus Shayna Baszler with Sonya Deville as the special guest referee. Booking-wise of this match was just bad. 60 seconds was really all they were given. So booking-wise alone, you got to hit everything bing, bang, boom, and hope for the best. You better hope for no botches, because that'll throw everybody off. And when you have only 60 seconds, good luck trying to get that train back on the tracks. Unfortunately, my girl, Naomi, who you guys know I love, I always defend her when people talk shit about Naomi, because I know Naomi is one of the best performances you're going to see if she's on a show. If you see a Naomi match, what we're talking about afterwards is usually all Naomi, because she is the highlight reel. She's that fucking good. Last night, unfortunately, my girl Naomi, man, she took a hard botch off of a springboard. And that's what's even more, it's just dumbfounding, because Naomi can hit a springboard in her sleep. She was wearing a different type of shoe too, man. So I don't know if that caused her the footing issue and she couldn't clamp onto the rope. It looked like there was some hesitancy as well. It was just a weird sequence and situation with that springboard, but that was a bad botch by my girl Naomi, and that threw the entire end sequence off its game, because you got to believe that was going to end to the finish, because again, it was only a 60-second match, but once that botch occurred, her and Shayna could never really get back on the same page, and you kind of seen them kind of twirling each other around and doing a little minion fight for a second. They didn't really know what to do until finally Baszler just lays on top of Naomi. No wrestling move or anything. She just lays on top of her, and Sonya does a fast count. In fact, if you blinked, you would even... I didn't even see Sonya hit a 1 count. Apparently, it was a fast 3. I didn't even see her hand hit once. That's how fast it was. But I don't know what this was supposed to accomplish. I'm all for Sonya and Naomi's storyline, right? I thought it was going pretty decently, right? We had to kick it into high gear. I felt this took it down a notch. This was a weird way to escalate, to elevate that storyline and feud between Sonya and Naomi by only giving them 60 fucking seconds. And the botch just did not help it. And I don't know what this did for Shayna, man. If this was supposed to make Shayna look strong because she won a match, not at all. Wasn't even from a diabolical Shayna Baszler move. You know, she's an afterthought in all this. This is just rough, man. You know, you hate to see wrestlers, especially ones you respect, wrestlers that you know are really good and take such pride in their craft. And they beat themselves up more than anyone when something goes awry. You know, you hate to see somebody like Naomi have to do a botch like that because she ate that shit. And when she got to the back, she probably felt like shit about it, you know, because she does take pride in her performance. And with Vince McMahon, you never know when you're even going to get an opportunity to go out there and perform. It's not like Naomi botches all the fucking time. So I'm sure she's, you know, she would like a take back on that one, man. But, yeah, that was rough. When you watch somebody you respect have to have a botch like that, man, and then you see them not be able to get back on the same page because you know booking didn't have their back. They didn't leave them any room for error, so you had to get right the fucking back up, and you had to somehow call an audible sequence for the finish. Can't stand that, man. And then the weird shit with Sonya, we'll see where it leads to, but much love to Naomi, man. Shake that shit off. And we know what you can do, man. So we ain't gonna harp on it. And then the main event was the Usos versus the New Day. I honestly can't believe we're at the end of 2021. A shake-up draft just occurred. It just got completed, this draft, and this is what we're already back to. Usos versus New Day. I mean, I guess there's a laugh, right? BC wants to have some fun, man. I guess give me a good joke. Well, this is a good joke. And the Usos are my favorite fucking tag team. I have tremendous respect for Kofi Kingston. I don't even mind the gimmick for Xavier. The King gimmick, I don't mind this at all, man. Right? Like fucking King, who the fuck, what was that Walking Dead King, man? King Ezekiel. And still we smile. I'll have King Woods, man. I don't mind any of it. Them two teams together, this is just totally the opposite of what you're promising your fan base after this draft shakeup. This new era that you're coining. I know that's more for just Raw, but I mean, this is what they're promoting, though. All this new shit, and it's just... It's mind-boggling that it's almost like we're just a joke to Vince. Like we are the joke to Vince. Like he honestly thinks that every wrestling fan just has a goldfish brain. Not only will we forget what happened 2 or 3 weeks ago, but we won't even care. Just put a pumpkin on somebody's head and we'll laugh. And we'll go, "My Dad, this is funny." And we'll tell everyone else who has a problem with it, just have more fun. Because yes, that's exactly what we need more of in pro wrestling. We need more of these shitty fucking segments. We need more pumpkins on people's heads. We need more people dancing like Dewdrop. We need more people doing flips in dog parks while people chase them in trash cans. It's what we need more of. More yoga, more water gun fights. We need more bunny rabbits running around the ring. We need more giant marshmallow men. I wish I could say this just happens for the holidays, but unfortunately, the sad part is most of the shit I just said, that just happened throughout this year alone. No holidays. Yeah, I've had enough with the fun that wrestling fans want me to have. Now we need to get wrestling back on track. When I say it needs to get more serious, I'm not saying everybody needs to just mean mug and not smile. I said we need to, and I said need. Not want. We need to have storylines, superstars, feuds, matches that captivate an audience. Fuck your comedy. The Amplified Man. Thank you guys for tuning into this review. Oh, should we end this the right way? Do you know how the Usos lost this match? I believe it was Woods, right? Woods wins this match by pinning Jimmy Uso. You know how that was done? You know how that was done. You want some comedy? You want a good laugh? It was done. Woods defeated Jimmy Uso via the awe-inspiring, ultra-devastating fruit roll-up. It's a roll-up party. Like a Claymore party, but it's a roll-up party. Anyway, Amputed. That's your SmackDown 10/29/21 review. Till next time, keep the fruit roll-ups popping, the coffee's cracking, and the amplification smacking. The Ant-Man, check you later.